a lot of guards, they sit there and they stand for hours on end. So how would they really shoot back to the enemy and or the threat, if they're tired?
From sitting?
Yeah, from sitting, yeah.
Hey everyone, I am Mike Witt here with Kontek Industries, and today we have Matthew Scott, also with Kontek Industries, and this is episode 11 of Complacency Kills podcast. And today, the main topic of what we will be discussing are guard booths and what you should be looking for when putting in your considerations on what type of guard booth, where you should place your guard booth, and all sorts of things like that. So without further ado, Matt, would you give a nice little intro, who you are, what you do here at Kontek?
Yeah, guys, I'm Matt Scott. I am the National Sales Manager for Critical Infrastructure here at Kontek Industries. And my prime focus is really selling guard booths, so I'm pretty good at it.
Did you say your brain? my brain is...
I mean, if you couldn't tell, my brain is hidden in this thing, which is empty.
Okay, perfect. And so one of the main things that we do here at Kontek is design, develop, and manufacture a variety of guard booths for a variety of different groups throughout the security industry, right? So everything from the Department of Defense, which people traditionally think of guard booths, outside of military bases, as well as guard booths for nuclear power facilities, Department of Energy labs, all the way to commercial booths that you would see outside of an arena or at a college campus, things of that nature. So we kind of capture the whole gamut there. And so today we just want to have a quick chat and bring up some points of discussion of, when you're selecting a guard booth, you have identified a need. Hey, we need to post a guard. We have, physical observation at a particular point and create, create some form of checkpoint and choke point for, pedestrian traffic, vehicle traffic, things of that nature. So with that being said, Matt, let's talk about your customers, right, which is the nuclear sector. What are some of the main key things that you guys should be looking for when they're deciding what kind of guard booth do I need and why do I need it?
So typically whenever I have the nuke customers, really want to focus on how to put, whether it be an elevated guard booth, a ground level guard booth, what they're really solely focused on are the general angles of fire. All right, how can I protect my officer while he's firing back? But going into it, when we deal with these customers, they're saying now, how can I make my officer more comfortable while sitting in that guard booth for a number of hours? But we have a slew of capabilities as well as features, some of which are like the anti-fatigue floor mats. A lot of guards, they sit there and they stand for hours on end. So how would they really go ahead, repel, and shoot back to the enemy and or the threat, if they're tired?
From sitting?
Yeah, from sitting, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I get what you're saying, man. Some of the key considerations for the nuclear guys and the DOE guys, we kind of clump them together when we're talking about BREs or guard booths for them. And yeah, obviously, first and foremost is what can they see, what can they shoot at? Absolutely. But yes, the majority of their duration in there is spent just in observation. And right. So they obviously want to be able to have some form of comfort when they're in there. And also the organizational aspect of it, right? So what we've done here at Kontek, at least in our booths, right, is try to create organizational tools and where things like surveillance equipment, computers, shelving, things of those natures are as far away and clear from the weapons ports, so officers actually have the ability to freely move, quickly gain access to a weapons port, and actually utilize it in a quick manner, right? And so we've taken all of those things, and so I think that's one of the biggest things, right? Once you get beyond the obvious, okay, where should I place the guard booth? What kind of threat do I have to stop? Is really looking at the fine details of how that guard booth is laid out on the inside, right. And that's all dependent on what your SOPs are. For observation and reporting and that sort of thing. So,
realistically, it's going from ground all the way to up. I mean, you're talking about from the flooring, whether it be ballistic, whether it be heated, whether it go all the way up to the ports, generalized ports from GP1 or basic standard all the way to a GP3. Do they want to be fully protected? And you let them know, like, hey, you can choose from this, and this, and this. And yes, it kind of bounces up and you get that price list and, the price gets a little higher, so to speak. But I mean, really, you are making that officer more and more comfortable,
for sure.
And and that's what we really want. We want the officer more or less protected as well as comfortable, and they know who they're getting their stuff from.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say the last piece on the creature comfort, more so than anything else we actually already described, is having good climate control within the guard booths, right? So that's one of the things that we focus on, is ensuring we love to use all the Mitsu systems out there. We use a variety of them depending on the size and location of the booth. But having good heat and good HVAC inside of there can make a world of difference. Those guard booths officers go in and out nearly every hour. They're not big guard booths, right? They're 10 by 10 on average for like a nuclear facility, right? So a lot of air, if you're in the winter, a lot of warm air gets dumped out very, very quickly as soon as they open that door for shift change, right? So having a good heating and HVAC system that can actually go and support that, so that next hour, the officer in replacement is not freezing to death inside
Right.
waiting for it to heat up, right? Within a few minutes, they're back to normal temperature. It feels good. And so when you're comfortable, you can do your job. When you're uncomfortable, right, they're more focused on how uncomfortable they are. They're cold, they're tired, they're wet, whatever the case may be. So if you can put them in a condition to allow them to best do their job, that's what we try and do. So, that's kind of the nuclear side. I think for a lot of our commercial customers and DoD customers, some of the things that you want to take into consideration when looking at guard booths is absolutely modularity. The more modular and off the shelf you can get to fit within the confines of the space you're working, in terms of material selection, the ability to erect that booth, and then also make upgrades and changes in the future should your changes need. It's a lot less expensive to go that route than going fully custom. There are scenarios where a fully customized booth for very particular scenarios is the only way to do it, by all means. But working with companies like us at Kontek to actually have a fully modular expandable guard booth that you can easily upgrade different components within it over its lifetime. But the main point we're trying to make here is first you need, once you've identified, okay, where do I need a guard booth and why do I need it there? Perfect. What kind of capabilities do I want from a security standpoint? Because security is first, right? Observation. If you do have armed officers, okay, what areas can they actually engage? And then once you take a step back from there, what kind of layout and creature comforts do you need for that officer or that soldier or sailor, whoever, to actually do their job the best? And then on the back end of it is looking at it from the construction standpoint. Okay, why is modularity important? Why is pre-built at the factory important? Looking at all those sorts of things when you put the whole project cost together and put it on paper and then put it into reality and actually install in the field. Once you look at all those different factors, you'll begin to quickly realize once you get a perfect blend of all of those that you can keep a project on time or ahead of schedule and on budget by just kind of going through that set checklist of considerations you need to make when you're procuring a guard booth. So
I, like the rest of the millions of customers that are probably now going to buy because of what you just said.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, hands down sold.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, but you hit it right on the head. And of course, it's from the ground level, from it just being a dirt patch, from all the way erecting up, and then placing an officer in there. I mean, it's time, it's cost-effective solutions, it's money saving, it's everything. I mean, you just hit it right on the head. It's
Yeah,
real
absolutely.
simple.
So anyways, just wanted to give you guys some little tidbits, nitbits, what have yous to think about, especially over the holiday. You're heading into 2022. So I know a lot of people's projects will be kind of gearing back up in the new year. And people are still buying guard booths, shockingly. In the world we live in, people need them more so than ever. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions or need anything, please feel free to reach out to us. You can hit us on our general email at info@kontekindustries.com. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, and also be sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel.
And I'll take letters. You can go ahead and direct them to Santa Scott or Matt Scott, and I'll take checks.
Thanks. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, take care.